Hey guys, are you here? And today I am back from the Method Major North America. Had such a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you didn't watch it, I'll link it down below if you want to check out the VOD. But I was an analyst. I flew out to LA, had such a good time with tons of cool people. So I just hope you guys really enjoyed the insight I could give, for the games. And now hopping into a game of Rogue Mage. I played this game actually before I left, but we're fighting Arsham Warrior. Not the greatest start to this game. My Rogue gets found out. We open on the Warrior in a smoke bomb. He kind of just blade storms on his way out. And, not the ideal setup for Rogue Mage. Ideal setup would be some type of double CC, huge burst, kind of like this. This is kind of an ideal opener. Blind on the Shaman, Kidney on the Warrior with my Icy Veins Orb. This is good. But this came about 10 seconds too late after we already kind of wasted that smoke bomb because my Rogue got found out. And that does happen, but you can take precautions like sitting at the edge of the map so you don't actually get found, or really just staying back until the Warrior uses his leap, uses his Blade Storm, uses his AoE, and then come out. Using the the blind triple sheep into the Bell of Silence onto the Shaman. Actually, want to show what I did here. This was kind of cool. Shaman, Bell of Silence off, and I Nova the Shaman because the Shaman and the Warrior are spread apart. So I actually Frost Nova the Shaman, and then as he goes to dispel himself, I actually pre-turn my character. I know Shaman's going to dispel himself out of this Nova, and I Cone Cold on his Dispel, which procs Frostbite. So look at this. The Shaman is out of range. He could barely heal his Warrior, even though we had no CC besides a Frost Nova. So using things as simple as a Frost Nova or a Cone Cold 4 CC is very, very valuable. I get the lockout into the cheap shot, or into the kidney shot, into the full sheep. So we kind of did a blind triple sheep, Belf, Frost Nova, Cone Cold, lockout, kidney back into a sheep. So just a super long CC chain there, really just propelling off of nothing. And that's what that's what it takes to win as Rogue Mage, or just takes to win in mage comps in general. It's just the CC is so important. Warrior getting very low here, actually dips down to 3%, but he does use the Spell Reflect to keep himself alive, and the Earthen Shield Totem goes down, and at this point my Rogue's getting a re-stealth. I get Storm Bolted up. I can't afford to take any of my life because I don't have a healer, so I'm just going to Ice Block right there to preserve my life as it is until our next go. The Counter-Strike Totem is down, and I see that, and I'm trying to get it, but at the same time, we are trying to do a setup. But what I want to talk about a little bit as this game gets moving forward is my CC on the Shaman. The Shaman is playing Orc Relentless, and the Warrior is playing Orc Relentless as well, and I have a question for you guys in the comments. Is Orc Relentless just a little too OP, or is it just me? Whenever I'm fighting Orc Relentless, guys, it's so hard to land the sheeps off of the stuns. It's so hard to kill people in a stun as a Rogue. I do land it there, and I do land most of my goes, but a lot of the goes are stopped just because that stun is so short. But as a Rogue, I've been playing a lot more Roastmaster X. I'm not sure if you guys were aware, which is my Rogue. And when I do goes on my Rogue into an Orc Relentless target, it's Cheap Shot, maybe Mark for Death of this, cheap shot of this. I mean, that is just not very much damage. Or cheap shot, ambush, cheap shot of this. Like, that isn't efficient and as far as damage, and it's not, the stuns are so short that pretty much all you're doing as the Rogue is just spam stunning the target, which is just so unfortunate. I do see the Spell Reflect. I try to sheep myself to gain some life. He does charge to me, break the sheep, and I am forced into the Ice Block. My Rogue has been out for about 20 seconds now, eating in stealth, resetting his life. We go with the blind onto the Shaman, and I'm going to try to probably sheep off of this. Yeah, I get a full sheep off of that. Pretty decent damage here onto the Orc Relentless Warrior, but it doesn't look like we're going to kill in this go either. Warrior is actually dipping pretty low. He has that Spell Reflect up. Don't have a Bell of Silence or anything to follow. We get a Cheap Shot onto the Shaman, but that's pretty much all of our CC. A half Cheap Shot, very beautiful half Cheap Shot. So the Warrior is staying very dangerously low. The Earthen Shield Totem does go down. Healing Stream Totem down. Warrior with the Earth Shield with the Riptide. But the kind of our strategy, guys, is CC the Shaman, get the Warrior low, keep him low in between the go. So keep him 50% health or lower, sub 50% life, until the stun DRs and the sheep DRs come back up. And when the Warrior's still low, when you get a fresh CC chain, look, we can start sheeping here pretty soon back onto the Shaman. When the Warrior's still low with a fresh CC chain, then that's how you kill. You can't win with one go all the times, but you can win with two goes. So get the Warrior low in a go, keep him low as you're kind of resetting, and then boom, go again when the Warrior's already 50 or sub 50% health. Warrior staying low here. We get a kick onto the Shaman into a full sheep. So that was just two goes back to back, and kind of like how you saw in the opener, it's two goes, two DRs, two sheep DRs back to back, which really makes kills like this possible. Full kidney shot coming off of the triple sheep. Warrior gets obliterated, barely surviving. Sam and I are still kind of scared at this point because, you know, Shaman with the flame shocks and stuff, we're pretty low HP, but I think this game is pretty much wrapped up. If we just kind of turtle, run, eat, run, turtle, run, eat, you know how it goes with Rogue Mage, we should be able to survive, kill the Earth Grab Totem, etc. But yeah, Orc Relentless, guys. What do you think about Relentless in general? And what do you think about Orc in general? That's what I want you guys to discuss down below. Well, in addition to anything else you guys want to talk about in the video. But that is really what's been on my mind recently with Orc Relentless. I think, personally, and you guys don't have to agree with me, is that Relentless shouldn't even be an option. I think people should be forced to take Trinket. I think it's very good for gameplay to be Trinket oriented. Okay, this guy doesn't have a Trinket. This guy does have a Trinket. You know, go from there. With Relentless, I mean with Orc, I don't think Orc or Racials at all should exist. I think Blood Elf Silence is very overpowered. I think Orc is very overpowered for reducing the stuns. I think Human Shrink is very overpowered. In my opinion, Racials altogether should be removed from ranked PvP, RBGs, and arenas. And I think Relentless and Adaptation should be removed, and people should be forced to pick Trinket. Trinket is just the most versatile option. It allows for the most skill plays to happen, and it just gives more choices for the player. And I think for Racials, all of them are just a little too wacky, and they're not really needed in WoW PvP, and it makes it so some things, when they're stacked, are very, very powerful, and on top of that, sometimes people, you know, want to look like a Blood Elf but want the racial of a human, and you can't really do that. So I think your race should just be kind of how you look in PvP, and racial shouldn't really exist. What do you guys think about that? Hopping into another match, we're fighting Arsham Unholy DK, and this is classically a very, very difficult match. And just right away, I want to note that the Shaman's Orc Relentless and has Earth Shield, and the DK is Blood Elf and Trinket with no Earth Shield. This, like, pop quiz, who are we gonna kill? The DK. I don't know if you guys answered out loud or not, but we're going to go on the DK here, guys. The Shaman isn't going to die. He's in Ghost Wolf. He has Earthshield. He has Riptide, and he's Orc Relentless. There's no way the Shaman is ever going to die, at least, you know, with an opener like that. So we're going to go onto the DK here. The pre-Earthen Shield is dropped, which is just so unfortunate, but the DK uses Icebound Fortitude and Anti-Magic Shell. So that's super, super good for us. We have, you know, a kind of a bad opener with that pre-Earthen, but we get the cooldowns that we need in the opener, and we get AMC, so we're getting quite a bit of cooldowns. Off the blind, we get a full sheep, half sheep, into a quarter sheep, into a kidney shot, and the DK is still low. Guys, same strategy here. We want to keep the DK as low as we can until this next go. If he gets topped off, doesn't mean we lose the game, but it's so much better if we can keep him low when the sheep DRs come back up. I get a full kick onto the Shaman, so the Shaman can't effectively heal his DK back to full life, and from here we're looking for a stun onto the Shaman and a stun onto the DK. I ice block to keep my life preserved until we go again, and this is very unfortunate. The DK gets topped all the way back up. If we could have gone a little bit sooner, it would have been, you know, very good offensively. However, you got to keep defensives in mind too. My rogue was eating to keep his life, you know, at a healthy total before opening back up. We open back up on the DK, we get Trinket with a full sheep onto the Shaman. Smoke Bomb comes out so I don't get gripped on that resheep or kicked. So very nice preemptive Smoke Bomb there. It wasn't to kill, but it was so I didn't get interrupted on my follow-up CC. Hiding away from the DK. The DK does have Earth Shield now, but he has no Icebound Fortitude. He has no AMC. He has no Trinket. I think AMS is probably back up by now, but we don't know for sure. Yeah, it's probably up back by now, but I don't have an add-on that tracks that. I kick the Shaman here, and starting your CC chains with the kick is a very, very good strategy. Kick the Shaman, getting the DK low. DK's, you know, sitting at 60-70% life. Once again, though, he gets topped back up, so I would like to see in these games, once the DK's at like 60% life, to start our go right here. So we start our go at 86%, which is better than 100, but worse than if we started the go with him at about 50% life. Would have been, you know, much smoother, much easier to get that kill if we started it a little bit, you know, with him a little bit lower HP. But look at this. We get that full cheap shot into the full sheep, into the half sheep. All of my cooldowns being used, trying to get one more sheep, get that last sheep, and the DK goes down. So close game there, guys. Not an easy game. Arsham DK, you know, not something that we should particularly win against all the time, but you can get wins if you play well, if you get those CC chains, and if you get your burst correctly. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to thumbs video up. If you enjoyed the Method Major North America tournament this weekend, make sure to also thumbs video up, because I was just so happy and excited and grateful to be there. If you didn't like the video, you can thumbs it down. That's okay too. Talk to me in the comments about all the questions and stuff I had during this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.